Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and today we're going to be looking at a puzzle called 1001 Lines. We'll get to that in a moment. I do want to mention that we are now 5 days away from the new Patreon content, which will be the Japanese sums, the Paint by Numbers Institute's pack of sort of Japanese sum style puzzles with pictures by Panthera, Grockles and the Asylum. It's brilliant. The main pack that we're expecting you to solve is brilliant. The other pack is enormous. I believe it's brilliant, but it's huge. That will keep you going for a long time. So join our Patreon for tons of content in 5 days' time. I mean, there's tons of content on there anyway, but do check it out when it comes out. Now, also, of course, tons of content in our apps, 100 puzzles in each of them now, fully up to date. So check it all out on the links under the video. Well worth the very small price to pay for those to get loads of handcrafted puzzles, many of them by the best constructors around. Which brings me on to thinking about the best constructors. Since Simon and I met Codec this week, I suppose I've been thinking a little bit more of constructors as real people rather than just sort of arbitrary geniuses whose paths cross ours occasionally. This puzzle is by Jakob and Woofer ZFG. And I could remember Simon doing a Woofer ZFG puzzle, and the name Jakob rang a bell, and I was wondering, had we done puzzles by him before? Anyway, I looked up when I had done a puzzle by Jakob before, and it was a puzzle called Biscuit, which I don't remember why it was called Biscuit. Something to do with Oreos or something, I don't know. But anyway, I happened to call up the grid and I noticed the ZFG. And I'm sure at the time I had no idea what that meant, and W. And of course, the fact that this puzzle today is by Jakob and Woofer ZFG tells me that they knew each other very well back then and were perhaps collaborating or doing puzzles for each other. I had no idea about that at the time, so it's really interesting. Woofer ZFG certainly featured on the puzzle on the channel lately. I think actually Jakob's featured 2 or 3 times. So we are delighted to have them back with a collaboration and an irregular Sudoku as well, which when we do them, there are quite a few people who ask for more of these because they have some very interesting logic in. So the rules are these. 1 to 9 appear in each row, column, and marked region. We don't have 3 by 3 boxes this time. So those will be the digits 1 to 9, for instance. Now, we have German whispers and Renban lines, and very few of them, in my opinion. Neighbouring digits on a green line must differ by at least 5. So this could be 1 and 6, but it couldn't be 1 and 5. Same is true of those two or of those 2 digits, etc. Each purple line contains a set of consecutive and non-repeating digits in any order. So this group of digits could be 1, 2, 3, 4 in some order, or 5, 6, 7, 8, for instance. It strikes me that the one given digit, the paucity of lines given in the grid, and the fact that the regions are not excessively interesting shapes, not sort of strung out all over the grid, means this is probably going to be a very difficult puzzle. But I don't know. I mean, that's an instinct based on experience rather than an actual deduction. So do give it a try. It's the first link in the description field. The other links, if you click on the show more, will take you to all the other stuff associated with the channel. But give it a try. Maybe judge from the video length whether you fancy it or not, although that could be me being slow or fast. And I'm going to give it a try now. So let's get cracking. Well, and that's an easy thing to say without any serious idea of how we start. I guess all the depth of lines is concentrated in the northwest corner. So actually, this region, which I'm tempted to call box 1 just because I can't avoid it in my brain, every cell in this has a line. That sort of means it must be the place to start, surely, unless it's a deliberate blind. But anyway, so this whisper line has got 3 digits of the same height or lowness. Okay, so something about this rule about differing by at least 5 is that 5 can't appear on the line. You'll be able to work out why. But each digit along it is either higher than 5 and then alternately lower than 5, higher than 5, lower than 5, higher than 5, or the other way around. So these two have the same, I don't want to call it parity, but the same height or lowness, which is not helpful. If they were different, that might actually give us a guide to how, yeah, I mean, the fact that these two cells are being linked both by a green line and a purple line feels like it might be significant. 5, I just said, can never be on a green line. But interestingly, a 5 cell or longer purple line has to have a 5 on it, because any run of digits that is 5 digits long must either reach 5 from the top or reach 5 from the bottom. So since 5 can't be on the green line and is on this purple line, one of those is a 5. This is a very minor deduction. What else does that mean? I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue what else it means. Okay, what I'm now thinking about is that these are all either high or low. I have a feeling the 1 here is going to make them not low. I have no idea. I just feel that must be what it's doing in column 1. But why? So if they were low, this can't be a 4 because it's surrounded by 2 digits that see each other, and they'd both have to be 9s to obey the German whisper rule. So if that was 2 or 3, okay, I can, yeah, I can see something now. Yes, okay, I can, I think. Whatever this is has to be more extreme than these two. Okay, what do I mean by that? Okay, I'm calling 1 and 9 the extremely high and low digits. They're the most extreme digits. Now, if this was inside, like nearer 5 than either of these, I think it would have to appear on this line. These have to be different because they're both on a purple line. That's quite useful too. So all these 3 cells have to be different. These 2 because they're in the same row, these 2 because they're in the same column, these 2 because they're on the same purple line. So these are all different. They're either different high or different low. If they're different low, one of them's a 4, which isn't there, so it's here in one of these 2, and that is 2 or 3. Now, oh, okay, I'm saying that this has to be more extreme than these 2. Actually, this can be 1. I mustn't forget that. But now I'm going to say it can't be 1. Because where would this digit go on the purple line? And you may say, well, why does it have to go on the purple line? But it does. If it's less extreme than the digit here, then it appears between the digit here and 5 and must be on the line somewhere. And there'd be nowhere for it to go because this cell sees every digit on the purple line, either orthogonally, no, horizontally, vertically, or in the same box. Yes, this digit can't be on the purple line at all. That's a total finding. And I think I'm right. It can't be less extreme than these digits. Even if they were high, this couldn't be 7 with an 8 or 9 here, because 7 would have to go on this line and it would be impossible. Gosh, that's weird. That's a really interesting setup. Last time I came across 2 lines ending in the same cells, it was a between, I can't remember it. No, it was a thermo and a Renban, and they had a totally different effect. So anyway, this is more extreme than these 2. Now, so it can't be 1. So can it be 2? You would have 3 and 4 here. Since you can't have 2 on this line, These would be 5. Yes, this doesn't work. This is incredible. If that was 2, you'd have to have 3 and 4 here because of this extremeness rule I've come up with. These couldn't have a 2 on, these cells, so they would have to be 5, 6, 7, including 2 of the high cells. These would be the other 2 high cells, and you'd have used up all 4 high cells in this region, and you'd still have this line to go, so that would break. So it does work. That is complicated in my opinion, and maybe that's not the exact way you're meant to visualize this break-in, but it's how I've done it, and it may be the exact way. So this is more extreme, and these can't be low, and they're therefore high, which I'm going to mark orange. These ones are low and blue. Now, this has to be more extreme than these two, and they can't any of them be the same. So that's 9 or 8. I have a feeling it's going to break if that was 8. These would be 7 and 6. Yeah, these would be 5, 4, 3. And again, you'd have all 5 or all 4 low digits and 5 in that group, and you couldn't put 1 there. And that needs to be high and low. Oh, that's magnificent. So this is a 9. Isn't that clever? Of Jakob and Woofer, ZFG. Now, can I make these 8 and 7, as I suspect they are? Well, then these are 6, 5, 4. Oh no, what I should do is try and break one of them being 6. This one can't be 6 because it would need a 1 there. This one could be 6 and would need a 1 here. And what would happen on the line? This would be 7 or 8. I don't know, I think it might still work actually. Or maybe being 8 and 7 doesn't. If those were 8 and 7, these would have to be 6, 5, 4. They can't include 9, and they can't include 8 or 7. They have to be a sequence. If those were 6, 5, 4, you get 2 of the low digits here, the other one on here. So that deals with 1, 2, and 3. So there's a high digit on here, which is 6, 7, or 8 again. No, in fact, if there's 7 and 8, oh, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. That's maybe that's too complicated. Maybe I am missing something Sudoku-y, because I haven't really considered the Sudoku. There are. Let's think about the law of leftovers, which says that if you draw a line straight across the grid, so imagine a line drawn under that row, that is cutting off these 2 cells that are not in this region down here, and those 2 cells are not in the bottom row, and they have to be equivalent to these 2 cells. The way to look at that is that there are 9 digits from 1 to 9 here, digits from 1 to 9 here. These 7 could be eliminated from both sets, and they'd leave those 2 in one case and the same 2 digits in the other. So the law of leftovers states that the way I see it is things sticking in have to match things sticking out. So you could take these 2 columns and these stick out of them, and they must be the same as these 3 sticking into them. And these 3 stick above a sort of line between row 4 and 5 and must be the same as those 3. Those 3 actually must be the same as those 3. So they've got to include a 1. I don't know. I don't think we're going to get very far with Sudoku or even irregular Sudoku considerations at this point. So let's go back. Go back to my lines. Revenons à nos moutons. So this is 2, 3, or 4. No, it's not 4, because that would need another 9 below it. So that's 2 or 3. The same, no, this could be 1, obviously. there's no 4 on this line because you can't put a 9 on it because it's in the same region as this 9. So the other one of 1, 2, 3 is on this line. So these digits can only use 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but of course this one's not in the region. Sorry, those digits can only use 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's right. And these can only use 6, 7, 8. So I think the line has to be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 line. Yeah, it can't have 1, 2, or 3 on it. That's right. Okay. So, and these ones are obviously, well, that can't be 6. That's 7 or 8. This is 6, 7, or 8. I haven't ruled out 6 from there yet. Well, I think I will. Now, 4 is in this group now. This is 1, 2, 3, and 6, 7, or 8. This cell sees every cell on this purple line. Of course. So it can't be 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, and it also sees 9 in the same region. That is the low one, 1, 2, or 3. This is the higher one, 6, 7, or 8. Can it be 6? 4 is here, and 5, so this is high. Bingo, of course. How are we going to connect that low and that high on this line? I think this has to be 6. So yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. We're in. We're in. That is the break-in. This bit up here was preliminary. This is the break-in. I'm sure that's right. Now, this is in the same region as, actually, 3 can't see 7 either. That's an 8. So 8 is not on this line or in this cell. No, hang on, I don't know 8's not in that cell. It's in a... God, I get confused with 2 cells like that. They look like they must see each other, and they don't. They're in different rows, columns, and regions. 6 sees all of these. So this is a 4, 5, 7 group. Yes. So this is the 8 on the purple line, and this is the 6. So that I was planning to rule 6 out of that, and I've had to rule it in. This is 1 to be next to 6 on the green. This is 2 because it's in the same region as a 3. Can't deal with the 4, 5, 7, but I have got digits in the grid and a real start. Okay, how about the law of leftovers now? So let's draw a line under here. The top 3 rows, what's sticking in and what's sticking out. That and that are sticking out. This is perfect. And that are sticking in. So those 2 have to be the same as those 2. It has to be a 6, 8 pair, and I can fill in those digits. 8 in this region is somewhere up there. Yes, I could have worked that out a slightly different way, but the law of leftovers is quite helpful. So what about the first 3 columns now? I've got an 8 sticking out. 8 and those 2 digits are the same as 6 and those 2. So one of these is a 6 and one of these is an 8. It is quite, yes, 8, 4, 5. That was going to be the same as this group. Yes, we can't have 5 on the whisper line. So that's 4 or 8 connecting to either 9 or 2 or 3. These 3 were the same as these 3, so they have a 6 in, and that's going to have to be there. It is helpful to do this stuff. These 2, this was the first one I noted, absolutely useless, can't do anything with that. I don't know, there's quite a lot of these leftovers, so actually the shapes are very carefully designed to be helpful, not unhelpful as I thought. My apologies to Jakob and Woofer ZFG, and to Woofer ZFG if I'm totally mispronouncing his name. I think Simon gave it something very different. Look, there's no 6 on this line. Brilliant. So that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line. 4 and 5 are already in this region, so they have to go up here. That's a 1, 2, 3, and we're away now. That is, oops, 1, 2, 3. I missed out the 2. This is a 7, 9 pair to complete the row and box. That 4, 5 sees this cell, so that's a 7. 1, 2, and 9. This is a brilliant break-in. I love this. I hope it really goes quickly now. Now, 8 is actually looking down at this cell. Probably was when I said that it could be 4 or 8. That's a 9, so that's a very helpful whisper line. Those aren't 4s. I don't know what to do with that. Never mind. Come on, that could be the same as that. That's not useful. 2, 4, 5, 8, 6. Oh, stuck again. Fair enough. I've got a 4, 5 pair there. So 1 in this column is down here somewhere. Could be there. There's no problem with that. That looks an utterly helpless line. This can't have an 8 on it. Oh, 6 is in one of these cells. That is interesting because of the leftovers rule. So it's not in those cells. So 6 in the first column's here. Gosh, I mean, these things take time to see. I'm sorry, they just do. Right, so these 4 are 2, 3, 7, 9. I'm going to bother pencil marking them. Simon would not do this. He would call me pencil mark and laugh at me, but it sometimes does help. Although not on this occasion, perhaps, but never mind. Now, these are from 3, 4, 5, 7, and they definitely include 3 and 7. Maybe I should... Oh, look, 8s are an X-wing there. So where are remaining 8s in the grid? 2 of them are in this column, in those rows. And the other 2 are in columns 7 and 8. One of those must be here, since everywhere is ruled out in this row apart from those, by either this group, no, by either the pencil marking or this X-wing. So I'm trying to mark the positions of 8s. And then there's one more 8 in this region down here, and I don't know much about that, but maybe I can... Yes, I do. I know a bit, because there's an 8 in this bottom shape, so it can't be in those cells. Yeah, okay, I'm a little bit stuck there. I'm going to put the 8 corner marks in everywhere, just because it might help later. It probably doesn't do much more. But one of those is an 8. I might need that at some point. Now, I probably need to find another leftovers thing. Ah, yes. These are those, aren't they? So there's a high digit on here, and that's got to be a 7. So that means this has to be a 7. And that's not. Oh, that pencil marking was well worth it. It was really dealing with that entirely. Now, I don't know... Don't use a 9. I don't think I know more than that. I've got a 7 X-wing there. That means none of these can be a 7, so one of these 2 must be. 7 X-wing there. 7s, oops, in those positions. 7 in the first column somewhere down here. And I think I'm a bit stuck after that. Yeah, I don't think I can get much further. So, that 4 is looking up at the 5, 4 pair. Yeah, spotting the regular Sudoku bits gets very hard for normal people in this. If you're clever enough to always spot every conclusion that each digit placement does, hats off to you. 6, 5, 4, 8. 9 and 1 have to be in those areas of this region. Oh, crikey. What about this then? Oh, it's a Renban. It's not a whisper. I was looking at that as a whisper line for some reason. No, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. These are from 1, 2, 3, and 7. That one, 7's on there, so it's not there. Yes, okay, that's not really interesting. I don't know what region we can get into more. I'm finding this tricky. As you see, those two are the same as those two. That's useless. I need another interesting. Okay, what was it? That and those two are sticking into the first 3 columns. And they're therefore the same as that. I can't use that. Ah, these 3 are, and those 3 are sticking in. Actually, those form a whole extra region. Ah, that's a nice way of looking at these last 3 columns, and that's very helpful. Well, it's getting me a digit. The last 3 columns obviously have 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9. That's one set. That's another set. So this must be equivalent to a 3rd set, and we've got a 7 definitely there. So this is not a 7, and the 7 in these 3 cells is now here. This is now low. Can't be 3 on the whisper line. Actually, I should have been able to eliminate that, but it doesn't tell me what that is. But it gets me a 7 there. How are we doing for 7s? Not brilliantly. Yes, we get this one above. That's the sort of thing I should be able to see instantly, obviously. There's a 9 in one of those 3 cells, and not there. Those 2's a 9. I can't use that, I don't think, yet. These 3 being the same as these 3. Yes, there's a 9 in one of these 3, and it's not there, so that is a 9. That is going to be the same as that. Let's make them yellow. Now, let's do a bit of that. These 2 I'm going to make orange because they're going to be the same as each other. Actually, these 3 are going to be the same as those 3 in terms of what sticks out of the bottom 2 rows. That's weird. Okay, so... and we can't have orange here because it's here in the region. Hang on. I don't even understand what I'm doing then. Oh, orange is 2 cells, so actually one of these is orange. Yes, okay. Okay, well, that may be too much colouring. I may have completely thrown myself off there. Let's see. Let's see how that pans out. So this was all one region. Did I get enough out of that? We've got 6, 9, 7. 8 is in... Yeah, 8 is in one of those 2 cells because it has to be in the box in this region. I don't know, getting a bit stuck. Let's have a look at 9s. We've got quite a lot of 9s placed. Oh, there you go. Yes, this region needs a 9. Simples. I just highlighted the things. One of these 2's a 9. Okay, let's keep going. Where is the 9 in the next row? Don't know. One of those 3's a 9. This bottom region needs a 9 in one of those 3 cells. So that's not a 9. The 9 in this column is in one of those 2 cells. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. Oh, this has got tricky, hasn't it? I love that break-in, but I'm finding it pretty hard now. Oh, goodness. 6, 5, I'm probably just missing stuff all over. One of those 2's... Oh, we've got 1 and 2 to go in this row. And 1, 3, 7. That is 1 or 3. In this row, got 1, 3, 7 to place. One of those is a 1. That's what I just noticed earlier. Gosh, I'm just not picking stuff up here. There might even be naked singles around that I can't see or something. 7 in this region has to be in one of those cells, which keeps 7 out of this one. Therefore, it's in one of these two. Okay, let's just highlight the 7s again. One of those 2, one of those 3. In the final column, 7 is in one of those 2. I've actually marked that before. So up here, it's somewhere there in the bottom region, which is where the last one is. It must be, actually it could even be in that cell. Oh, that's not quite enough information. Rats. Okay, what about that 4-5 pair? 1, 2, 9, 8 are the possible cells in this column. Oh, that might have some implications for this. A, it can't be 6, because that can't be 5 or 7. That's pretty relevant. So we can place 6 there. This now has to be 1, 2, 3, 7 or 9. I mean, that is, it actually can't be 7. But it could certainly be any low digit or 9. Can it be 9? I think it can. Then that would be 8. That would be 8. Okay, there's no problem with that. Right. 6 there. Does that... Oh, this was in a group, wasn't it? So what was this group? That cell sticking in and those 2 are the same as the 8 and those 2. I don't know how to use that. It looks interesting. Can't see how I'm meant to use that. 5 and 4 have to be in that group. Come on, find something else. Find something better. You can do it. 1, 7, 6. Somewhere down here. Something is more useful. Or down. No, this is the bit where it's working, I think. 6, 3, 4, 5, 7. Just don't know what's going on there. Let's just keep trying though. That being the same as that, can it? No reason it can't be 4 or 5. No, come on, 5, 8 pair there. What's happening with that? That can still be 1 or 2. I cannot see what we're meant to look at next. That is one of those. Now, if that was 3, is that an issue for that being 3? Don't see why. Ah, oh, totally stuck. So irritating. You're probably seeing something really important and going, why can you not pick up what I'm looking at? Ah, come on. 7 and 3 are definitely here. 6 is there. 4, 5. Oh, right. 3 and 7 are there. 6 is there. 4, 5 are there. And 8. This is actually 1, 2, or 9. So this is a Renban line that is either 2 very high digits or the 2 lowest digits. Now, which one doesn't work? Well, the more constrained one is 9, 8, because that has to be 9 and this has to be 8. That puts an 8 here. It would also, because of this sticking out, sticking in thing, put... In fact, do those 2 digits have to be those 2? 6 is there. Oh no, 8 has to be sticking in one of these 3 cells. No, it has to be sticking in one of those 2. That's what that 8 is telling me. So if that was an 8, that would be an 8. But I don't know that that's the case. Then this would be a 9, and this would be a 9. So if that is 8, 9, this is 8, 9. It might not be the same if it's 1, 2. If this was 1, 2, and this has to be 1, 2, 8 or 9 now, 2. 1 and 8 have to be in these 3 cells. Something is going on here and it's begging me to... It's so close to answering it. Actually, I'm looking at this suddenly. This is quite interesting, this green line. I'm looking at these tiny lines because I feel they must hold the key somehow. This can't be 1, 7, 8 or 9. It can't be 5 because of the whisper. So it's 2, 3, 4 or 6. Now, this can't be 7 or 7, 8. So it can clearly be 9. And that would go with any of 2, 3 or 4. It can't be 6 or 4 because of these numbers. So it's either 9 or 1, which is a peculiar pairing. But that's all it can be. Oh, that almost sort of forms some triple. 8, 5, 4, 9, 1, 6. Maybe there's nakedness in this row, in this column. 8, 5, 4, 9, 1, 6. That's 2, 3 or 7. That is 2, 3 or 6. Oh, that's nearly a quad now. If I could rule out 4 from there, would be in some sort of business. Oh, 6 can't be in those cells or those 2. So 6 is definitely in one. No, hang on. Yes, this can't be 6 because it can't be in those 2 cells. So 6 in the final column is in this cell. Good Lord, that's tough. Right, 6 is there. This is a 1. We need a 9 in this column. It's there. This can't be 1. We're away now. That's a 1 on the whisper, which equates to that. These 2 are the same. I'm colouring them green. 9, 1, 6, 8. This is a 2 in the row. That's fixed to 1. This isn't a 1. Oh, that 2 makes green 3. We're buzzing. That's a 7. The top and bottom are a 4, 5 pair now. One of those is 4 or 5. It doesn't look as useful. 7, 3, 6, 1, 9. 8 and 2 have to be in this group. Now, what about this? 6, 9, 7, 2, 8. Hasn't fixed this. These are from 1, 3. They don't have a 1, so the 1 in the region is there. This is now a 3, 4, 5 triple. That one can't be 3. Oh, hang on. No, that is yellow. Yellow can be 3. 3, 4, 5, 9, 1, 6. This is 2, 7, 8. And that is a 3. That's not a 3. 2, 7, 8. Gosh, when something happens in this, it really leads to a bit of a flood. That's not 6. It's naked now. This is the naked one in this column I wanted. 1, 3, 7, 9, 6, 4, 5, 8. Wow. 2 there. 7 at the top. Those can't have a 7. That can't be 2. 4, 2. This can't be 2. Oh, we're nearly there on this line. 6, 3, 4, 5, 7. No, we're not. Oh, yeah, we are. We've got a 9 there. This is a 1. So that's going with a 2. I keep thinking, is this a whisper line? It's not. It's a 1, 2. Those aren't 2s. Now the sticking out, sticking in. So sticking out, 8, 1, 6. Sticking in, 6, 1, 8 are a pair here. Is that 9 definite then? Yes, it is. In the column, the 1 has made that a 3. We finish off this column with a 6. 4, 5, and 8 in these cells. Can't do that. Those don't. 2 and 1 are resolved in this. 1, 8, 9. Ooh, come on, come on. We're going now. We're going now. We're nearly there. These must be from 3, 4, 5, 7 being the same as these orange cells. Does that mean I know where 8 is in the row? No, it doesn't. This region, we need a 2. It's got to be here. How are we doing for 2s? Lots done. Yeah, this 9, 2 pair is fixed. Now how are we doing for 2s? We've got 1 in column 5 and 1 in column 7 to go. Oh, it's their little X-wing at the top and bottom. Okay. This has become an 8. Right at the top of the grid, I see that. This is an 8. Now, those 3 reds are the same as these, so we need a 9 there. We need an 8 in those reds. So let's take out the 2 remaining reds. That is the same as that, so it is not 3, sorry, it is 4 or 5. And it's also one of those, and this is the other one. I don't know what that is. Okay, this column, that is 4 or 5, not 8. 9, 8, 2, 1, 6, 3, 7 are there. That's a 4, 5 pair. So this is now a 3, 7 pair. Marvellous. This is 4 or 5 in the region, not 8. Did I say one of these two had to be 8? Yes. There's an 8 X-wing there, so that's not 8. So this is one of those two, 7. This is 4 or 5. We might get left with a bunch of 4 or 5s at the end. That seems to be the way we're going. That is 3, 4 or 5. This can't be 7. I've got a 3, 4, 5 triple, so I can play... Oh! I thought I had a 2 X-wing, and I absolutely don't, because I've got a 2 there. So that pencil marking was wrong, but never mind. We've figured it all out now. 2, 8, 5, 8. That's going to sort out lots of 4, 5s. No, very few 4, 5s. I thought it was going to. That can't be 5 anymore, because yellow is the same. So in fact, that is 5, and it is sorting out lots of 4, 5s. Still don't know what that is. That's strange. Right, 4 is now in this, in one of those 2 cells. And that therefore has to be a 5. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, 4 was red, wasn't it? That was the whole point. Actually, I don't know why I've still got blues and these oranges highlighted. I hope you didn't think that those oranges were connected with the bottom oranges. They weren't meant to be. Now, that has become a 3. Yellow has become a 3. So let's get rid of the yellow colouring. I've dealt with the green colouring as well. That's now a 4. Now we are surely finishing off. Yes, 5 and 4 here. That's dealt with the orange 4. Let's get rid of the colouring there. 3 and 7 in this row. This now must be reduced to only one possibility. And a few Y-wings to finish. I-wings, I mean, to finish. Right. 5 and 4 and 5 and and we finish back up on this Renban which started us. That's very nice. That is a very clever puzzle. Thank you so much to Jakob and Woofer ZFG. Really interesting, absolutely fascinating break-in. Loved that. And then it's probably me struggling in the middle, but irregulars are very hard to get used to. So enjoyed that a lot. Thank you so much as always for watching on the channel. 5 days till the Patreon content. Really hope to see you soon. Bye.